Hey everyone, welcome back to another wonderful, fun-filled episode, number 132 of the Retro Gamers podcast. Larry here.
And Anthony here.
And Rich joining again.
Yes, we got the three of us. It's another Triforce, if you will. But this is like the 16-bit Triforce now, you know, where like us and Dr. Anthony Bean was maybe the 8-bit Triforce.
Sure. I don't know if size matters or not, Larry. I'd like to think that I'm maybe the 64-bit.
Listen, it's how you use it. That's all I'm saying.
I've been told otherwise.
You're the 4-bit Triforce.
I am Irish. So we're here this week. As you can see, via satellite, basically it's me at this point because Anthony and Rich that's not Chroma Key. They're actually there in Los Angeles. Rich, how you been?
Hey, look. That's some really good green screening. That's all I'm saying. I don't know how he's doing that, but that's some really seriously good After Effects.
Hi, we're in Delaware. Rich, how you been? What's going on?
Good, man. Good. Been playing. I just on the plane ride over here. I was doing the Zelda, the Link Between. Was it Link Between Worlds?
Mm-hmm. Oh, on the 3DS.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good.
No,
one.
it's been having a good. That's been a fun one, man. It's fun. A Link to the Past is easily my favorite Zelda. Hands down, not even a question. This one, it's funny. It's similar, but there's so many it's different at the same time. So it's like it's a little weird getting used to it.
It is. It's luckily it's a direct sequel to Link to the Past, so you do have that familiarity. But it's with that whole going into the paintings and going into the walls and stuff. It's a little bit of a game aspect that plays into the 3DS, which kind of forces you to play 3D sometimes.
Yeah.
For a game that I really didn't play much in 3D. But it's cool that you're playing it. It was a good run. I think I got up to Ganon, and then my memory card decided to disconnect itself.
Oh.
Same reason what happened with Metroid Fusion. I was at the end of the game, and I bought a new one since, and the memory card just like disconnected, and I lost everything.
Funny you mentioned Fusion, by the way. I just replayed it last week.
Oh,
and
nice.
Plowed through it.
Yeah, I'm still hurting from that, so I'm still waiting a little bit.
Larry, are you sure these aren't excuses for not being able to beat the games?
No.
I think it's excuses.
Yeah.
I don't know where you're getting this from. They are true to fact. Wait, no, I beat Link Between Two Worlds. Wait, no, I didn't. I don't know. My memory card. No, you know what? My memory card. Whatever.
Sure, the memory card. It's always the memory card.
By the way, you know what? I'm going to just chime in with the thing that annoys me the most about A Link Between Worlds is you have to rent the items.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
You can't find them. I got through the first dungeon. I'm like, where the hell's the item? I'm running around after I beat the boss. Did I miss it? And then all of a sudden, next thing, it's like, no, you have to keep going over to Ravio and go and rent them. And it's like, if you die, and next thing you know, you lose it and you got to rent it again.
It's a weird game aspect. It's definitely a different game aspect, but and it's weird because, again, it's something like that, which is why I didn't like Majora's Mask. Like, they threw this new gameplay into it with the 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, maybe since I'm going to try and play Majora's Mask now, I don't know. You may fall in love with it, but it was definitely weird. I gotta agree with you, Rich. It was weird.
I'm still early enough in the game, so I just did the second dungeon, the House of something or other.
Cards?
Yeah, that too. the one with the wind where you got the tornado rod and
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember the name of it, but I do know what you're talking about.
House of Gelis or something like that. I think that's what it was called.
All right. Well, good luck, my friend. See if give Anthony a shot with it. See what he thinks.
Well, a shot of what?
Zelda in 3D. Yeah, put your glasses.
Oh, no, thank you. I'll pass on 3D. I'm not a 3D person. We've talked about this at length, Larry.
We have. Yeah.
See what he did there?
Yes.
I saw. Yeah.
Yes. That is what I did right there. So no 3D for me. We've been there, done that. Virtual Boy Sex. VB Sex. Hashtag VB Sex. Yay.
How dare you? One more thing, Rich. I just want to say to you, I heard that you've actually, I guess after so many years now, finally beat Blaster Master.
How the hell did we do that back in the day?
I don't know. I still can't do it now.
No internet, no maps. You had to just figure this stuff out on your own. I seriously, I don't know. I must have been on like who knows what to get all the way up to the 8th level without any of that help.
And Larry can't do it now because his memory card keeps crashing.
Yeah.
That was on the 3DS. I'm good to go with the Switch. I did buy another memory card though.
Sure, and I'm sure it'll crash.
No, it didn't crash. Yeah. It like popped out somehow, and that's what it told me.
Sure. Okay.
I don't need to prove myself to you.
Whatever you say.
I'll prove myself to Rich.
Wait, you know what I got to tell you? I was telling Anthony the other day and some of the people we were hanging out with. So I know it's kind of retro gaming, but kind of not. Resident Evil 2 Remake. Have you played it yet?
I played the demo.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you remember Mr. X?
Oh, yeah.
So Mr. X chases, for those people who don't know, Mr. X is a character. He chases you around throughout the game. And it's supposed to be like, he's this big imposing figure, black leather coat with a top hat. And all of a sudden this like very ominous music comes in and you hear his heavy footsteps running after you. So
I know where this is going.
One of my buddies, he downloaded it for Steam.
Okay.
And we were playing the game now for probably like, because we were only hanging out once a week. So we were playing maybe about like 3 weeks in. So we kind of got used to Mr. X coming in and chasing us and whatever. Fine. Well, he started modding the game on us since it was Steam. And he didn't tell us that he modded the game. Next thing I know, all of a sudden I start hearing Thomas the Tank Engine theme music. And Thomas the Tank Engine starts chasing after me. Dude, if you want to laugh, just Google it. It is seriously some of the funniest things you will see.
That sounds frightening.
Yeah, no, it actually absolutely is, because I mean, if you remember what Thomas the Tank Engine looks like, it's not just, obviously a blue train. But he's got a big old smile on his face with the big eyes.
Yeah.
So literally you see that train coming down the hallway in the Raccoon Police Department just trying to kill you. It's awesome.
That is the conductor anywhere. What was the conductor's name? Mr. Conductor?
I don't remember, but the conductor is definitely not there.
No.
It's also very clear that Thomas the Tank can take quite a few shots.
Yeah.
Well, he's a tank.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, definitely worth watching. It was entertaining.
And I hit him a couple times with the flame rounds. And watching Thomas the Tank Engine on fire coming at you is priceless.
Oh, that is the things that nightmares are made of.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
yes,
this is just coming off watching the Dora the Explorer trailer. I'm like, oh man, yikes!
Why are you watching the Dora the
Why?
Explorer trailer?
Because it dropped today. That's why.
Why not?
Dora
is that the
and
only reason? Just because it dropped today?
Well, Anyway, that's for another podcast. Thank you very much.
That is correct. We're not talking Dora because there are no Dora video games that we care about.
Nope.
There we go. Good save. So, but we are going to talk about actually a really cool topic that you guys mentioned before we started recording. I do want to get into, and Zelda kind of does touch on it in a way. We're going to talk about some RPGs.
Yes.
Yes.
Before we started recording, Rich and I were talking earlier today about like the RPGs that we play and love, obviously. So that just got us thinking it would be a good topic to discuss today, since Rich is here on the show guesting.
There we go.
So I think it would be kind of fun. We'll all talk about the RPGs we love, and on top of that, I have a couple of top 10s for us to discuss in terms of RPG sales.
All right, cool. So let's talk about some rocket-propelled grenades. Which one's your favorite? I like the one that's shaped like a pineapple. That's not even a grenade. Well, it is a grenade.
Well, wait, Rich isn't on the show. Rich is.
Well, no, that's true. Yeah, because my father would be able to name all of them.
I didn't realize we were talking about Quake.
We could.
Rocket-propelled grenades.
I got you. I'm with you. I'm standing. I'm happy. All right. This is like my third podcast today. I am punch drunk.
I can tell.
Let's talk about some role-playing games. And first of all, what comes to mind that would make a good RPG? Is it story? Is it gameplay? Because some of them do play a little different.
To me, it's story. It's all about story. Some of the best RPGs that I've ever played had really, really compelling stories throughout the entire game. So that's my opinion anyway.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I gotta tend to agree with that because I feel like the gameplay on them shift depending on which genre you play. So in other words, like if you play Final Fantasy, there's that element of where you're walking around in an empty area and then all of a sudden the screen changes and you go into a battle. But then you have one like Kingdom Hearts where you're just running around and all of a sudden, boom, something pops up and you're fighting it. So I feel like the gameplay will always change. But
Action RPG,
yeah. So the gameplay will always change. The story is key to success, no question.
And this I always get, maybe Rich, maybe you can answer this one for me. And I always get confused, like the difference between like an RPG and a JRPG, Japanese RPG, other than maybe just the fact that it's just from Japan. But I feel like it's a different game style.
What's funny is I guess the best way I could go about describing a JRPG, at least I'm who knows, I'm probably wrong on this.
Yeah, no, we're yeah.
But I'm shooting from the hip here. I am. I usually am, but that's besides the point.
Well, all three of us usually are.
Excuse me.
But no, a lot of the JRPGs, first of all, heavy on story. That's always been one of the things that I've always noticed. And especially the older JRPGs, it was very much on going with that. You walk around into this, and there's a void, and then all of a sudden, boom, you get taken into this other world, I guess, let's call it, and then you go into the battle, right? Okay. That's how I always looked at JRPGs.
I can see that, like Dragon Warrior, like you said, Final Fantasy, things like that.
Dragon Warrior.
Dragon Warrior was awesome. All right, I like how you guys said story-wise. Me personally, to me, it's the action. I don't know, maybe it's my ADD. Like, I can't pay attention to the story, but the action, which is why I love, which we'll talk about in a moment, our favorite genres or
games.
Thank you. But like Shining Force or Final Fantasy Tactics. Yes. The way those play, which is more strategic. Advance Wars on the Game Boy Advance. You move up certain blocks, they move. You move, they move, and you slowly get closer to each other. Those are the RPGs I enjoy. And we're going to talk about the top 10 RPGs here in a moment. But before we get into that, just one little thing I got to mention, and I'll post it on our Instagram page a little later. I was at Game On over the weekend, and which we're going to talk about a little later in the show. Okay. But they actually got Final Fantasy VII on the Nintendo Entertainment System.
What?
It's a ROM of Final Fantasy VII done in 8-bit NES, and it is, I believe, the full game.
The full wow!
It's, I popped it in for a minute just to take a look. I don't know, it's in the credits somewhere, but I popped it in for a minute just to see, is this fake? Is this, is it going to be Tetris? But no, it opens up with the train and top-down view. It was ridiculous, and then it was like the fighting just goes back to Final Fantasy 1, the way it feels.
Oh, that's kind of awesome.
Wow. It
was really cool.
Wait. Did you buy it?
Oh, I tried my best to buy it. There was only one copy, and I think ownership was already obtained by other people. But it looked really cool.
Tell them to get more copies.
I'm gonna see what we can do.
I want one.
Oh no, trust me. I thought about you, and I thought how awesome it would be when I buy one and show you that I bought one.
Kind of like the Virtual Boy that I own and you don't.
Low blow. Touche.
I can only hope Hyperkin comes out with that clone system. Hopefully.
Nobody's gonna waste their time with that.
Well, let's do this. Let's talk about, boy, this is a vicious episode. Rich, I'm blaming you on this one.
Listen, I bring out the worst in people. That's how I roll.
It's very true. He does bring out the worst in me. There's no question about it. And just really quickly, while you were at Game On, we went and hit up Game Dude today.
We did.
So that was kind of fun. And
that's cool.
Yeah, Rich, though, you didn't buy anything.
No, well, you know what it was? So I've been trying to find an Xbox 360 wired controller because I need it for the USB, especially. They wanted $25 for it.
Wow.
For a used one.
A used one.
For a used one that's like like Microsoft first party?
Yeah.
Yeah, that does seem pricey. Yeah.
So when I saw that, I was kind of like, maybe not so much.
Now, for $25, you can get it at like brand new at a GameStop or something like that. So exactly. that was a really, really weird price. But the cool thing about places like Game Dude is that you can find those rare gems that other people don't have, and you can also bump into games at a surprisingly decent price. Perfect example is when you came out to visit and you picked up Hotel Mario for CDI.
Yeah, that was a steal almost.
I know. And just so you know, the other one that is no longer there, so somebody purchased the other one.
See, I got the one with the sleeve and the box. I got it all complete. And they were like same price as the one without the sleeve and the box. I'm like,
really?
Before someone realizes this, let's go.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really interesting. So we hit up Game Dude today.
That's cool.
And then tomorrow I'm probably gonna take you over to Game Realms, which is another store by me.
I don't think you took me to that one last time.
No, I don't think it was. Did I?
No, I don't think so.
No, okay, so we're gonna hit that one up tomorrow.
I liked Game Realms a lot.
Yeah, I remember I brought you there. It's a good store.
No, Larry, there's a place actually in Brooklyn, New York. It's an electronics recycling place. It's over by I think that's Gowanus over there, or Carroll Gardens, like kind of somewhere in that vicinity.
Okay.
Anyway, so they have like a whole bunch of used systems and used like controllers and stuff like that. The controllers are like $5, $10 maybe. Mm-hmm. The systems are like $30, so you can get like a Nintendo there for $30.
Well, that's cool. That's a steal.
And they test them before they put them out for sale to make sure that everything works.
All right.
So, like, if you're ever in that area, they have DSs, they have PSPs.
Time to build up that collection.
Yeah.
I may have to again. Hopefully, they'll have a CDX. I doubt it, but we'll see. That's my holy grail.
Or a JBC XI.
I'll leave you to the XI.
Hey, you know what? I'm very happy with it.
No, listen, it works.
Especially since it's going to help me win the contest this year.
Yeah, because so far I can't even think of a thing to buy.
That would come close.
So, yeah, you're not going to top that. But I'm getting back to RPGs.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Yeah, so let's talk about it. And I'll just bring this one up really briefly because we've talked about it a number of times, and I know you love this one as well. One of the best ones by far and away, Chrono Trigger.
Oh my God!
Oh yes. Wow! Yeah,
Chrono Trigger. Yeah, I mean that's got to rank up in like easily my top 3.
I have to admit, I never fully played the game. Like I never really gave it a lot of time.
Remember
I just
Crash?
What's the Sorry, I tell you these things. No, what happens is I downloaded it on the PS3.
I did the same.
But it mimics the disc of Chrono Trigger on the on the PlayStation, which had load times were ridiculous.
Oh,
every time you move the screen, it took like 5 seconds to load. It was terrible. So I missed out on downloading the Super Nintendo version that was actually on the WiiWare, on the Wii console before it shut down. So I'll find it somewhere.
It might be on the Wii U one, isn't it?
The DS one is supposed to be the superior version.
Oh,
I forgot it was on DS.
On the DS, they actually it's supposedly like the director's cut, where after the boss battle, there's a whole nother battle that happens after that.
We're running out of room on this podcast.
Yeah.
Look at that cat. Rich, be careful. He may try and kill you in the middle of the night.
Yeah, he's tried already.
Yeah, it's okay. Rich closes the door.
Good move.
He keeps it safe.
One day I woke up, I look over, I'm like, what the hell is that?
Mm-hmm.
But seriously, Chrono Trigger, I only played it for the first time maybe 5-6 years ago.
Okay.
And that game was everything everybody said it was.
Mm-hmm.
And I could not believe how a game that came out in 1995 had that much jam-packed into it.
Mm-hmm.
It was astounding.
Yep. And 10 different endings.
Yeah.
Oh, don't even get me started on multiple endings. No, I'm definitely going to give it a shot. Now, remember that you jog my memory, it's on the DS. I think I'm definitely going to look for it now.
Yeah.
So, all right, that's cool. Now, this top 10 that you've mentioned that you have.
Yes.
What do we got?
Okay, so we've got the top 10 selling RPG franchises. So this is going to be a cumulative list.
Cumulative.
Don't say what the number 1 is yet. Larry.
No. I'm going to start at number 10 and work my way up. That's usually how these lists work, Rich.
All right.
Has David Letterman not taught us anything?
Yeah, I mean, come on.
What? I thought we started at 1 and work our way down.
Yeah, no, that's in the upside down.
Oh, okay.
Number 10.
Communicate through Christmas lights.
What if you go?
Okay, but Larry, really quickly, since Rich brought it up, if you were to predict what the top one would be, what would you think? This is RPG franchises.
Immediately that comes to mind is Final Fantasy, but I'm wondering if Pokemon is considered an RPG technically.
Okay.
So I'm actually going to go Pokemon.
Okay. So
we're going to hold off on saying what it is, but
yes. Okay.
I wanted to get your thoughts on what you thought was going to be number 1.
Right. And we're going to do a 1-2 punch with this. So Rich, you can go first.
All right. So coming in at number 10, we've got one that all of us, I'm sure, have lost a number of friends to.
Yes.
World of Warcraft.
Oh, yes. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm actually shocked that's number 10. I thought that would be higher up.
But think about it. They haven't had that many games released for it, right?
Yeah, it's really just kind of the one.
But it's also the subscription.
Yeah.
I figured that would be thrown into it.
Jenkins.
I actually...
That sales number?
So it had 33 million copies sold.
Oh, okay. Now I see how we're doing this. All right. Now it makes sense. All right. That's very interesting. This very computer that I'm recording on, this iMac, was originally purchased because I was actually going to invest in playing World of Warcraft. That lasted 3 months. Because
I remember.
Yeah, because I pre-purchased a 3-month subscription. I stopped playing like a month into it. And then one day I'm like, oh, how's that subscription going? I literally log in and there was a countdown to when my card was going to be recharged. Yeah, I can't think. And I literally had about 5 minutes before it was going to happen for another 3 months. Cancel.
Good timing.
And I got to admit, our friend Jonathan.
Yep.
He, for a while, was playing World of Warcraft on his Twitch channel. That was some of the funniest stuff. I'd watch this maniac for 4 hours, just watching him play and him and his friends playing Warcraft. It was nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Big shout out to Jonathan.
Yeah, no, it was definitely entertaining to say the least.
Yeah, especially with him. So
yes. Okay, so moving on to number 9. This one has a shade over 33 million, so it just edged out World of Warcraft, and we have the Witcher series. I don't know if you ever played the Witcher series at all.
I didn't realize that was considered an RPG, to be honest with you.
I always thought it was just the first person like shooter type.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, apparently it ranks on the RPG lists.
We'll take it. Who's gonna argue with the list?
Yeah, and it's one of the games that I never played for that very reason. You know me with first person, it just does not work.
Yeah, unless it's Dead by Daylight. Yeah.
Dead by Day. Well, no, Dead by Daylight's third person.
Oh wait, isn't if you?
No, first person is the killer, but I don't play the killer because of that reason. First person. It gets me very dizzy and gives me a headache.
Fair enough. Alrighty.
It's the Virtual Boy of perspectives.
Yeah.
How dare you? Number 8.
Number 8 coming in at 36.5 million.
Okay.
So this was actually a franchise that I'd never played before, but Black Friday, they had a copy of this for $20, and my wife and I, she likes to play multiplayer games, so got her in on this, and Diablo.
Oh, Diablo, yes. Great series. Diablo 3, I love. I must have bought that game already. It's one of those games we've talked about in the past, me and Anthony. Mm-hmm. Like you end up buying them for every system that comes out.
Yep.
Yeah, I bought that one already 3 times. PS3, PS4, and now on the Switch. Diablo 3 is fantastic.
We literally just beat it maybe about a month ago.
Okay.
Phenomenal.
No, the game is awesome, especially in multiplayer, because when I bought it on the Switch, buddy of ours, actually, me and Anthony know, and a listener of the show, Tim, he kind of got me back into Diablo 3, but with the seasons, like not the main campaign, but the different seasons that you can do, which are constantly ongoing. And it was just, I mean, the game is just, that's the type of RPG I also love, where your stats go up, but it's a hack and slash, but it still has RPG elements.
You know what I liked about it is, you know how many we've all played with that friend that's basically like, you know, an item whore, that the minute an item shows up, they're like, boom, I'm going to take it.
Yeah.
And then you get nothing, or, you know, the gold, same thing. So I love the way that Diablo 3 has it, where you make the kill, there's an item. It might go to Anthony. It might go to you. It might go to me. Who knows who it goes to? I love that aspect of it.
That looting system is a bit more fair, if you will. Yeah.
Yep.
But that's cool.
Now, Larry, since you bought the game 3 times, did you beat it at all on PS3 or PS4?
All right. We have already.
Or was it a memory card issue?
All right. I'm gonna have to use the censor button here in a moment. We have established that I'm not really a completionist when it comes to games. So, but I take my time. As long as I complete the game. As long as I complete the game before I'm dead, I'll be good to go.
Oh, man. You're in for a disappointment. Let's move on to number 7. So number 7, with 38 million in cumulative sales, we've got Fallout, the Fallout franchise.
Again, another one I really... Oh, wait, no, Fallout. I'm thinking Far Cry. Okay.
Fallout.
No, I know. Fallout, especially with the new one that came out.
Fallout 76?
Yeah.
I've heard so many great things about it.
It's
Fallout 4, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
Fallout, that's the definitive collection.
So wait, so did they go from Fallout 3 to Fallout 76? Is that what happened?
No, what happened was Fallout 4 came out, and Fallout 4 was supposed to be very good, but it had a lot of bugs with it.
Okay.
And then what happened is then they made Fallout 76, which basically they just reskinned Fallout 4 pretty much verbatim with the same bugs.
Oh, well, what's the point?
And they got Bethesda, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bethesda got reamed for that.
So wait, what happened to Fallout 5 through 75?
Don't talk about those.
No?
Make sure to tip your waiters at the end of the night. They're working hard.
But I'm sorry for the bad jokes. My memory card crashed.
I think there's enough. There's enough dirt on this joke.
Yep. So moving on to number 6, and we broke Larry. Moving on to number 6 with 43 million. Actually, I don't know this one.
And you know what? I don't know this one either.
Lineage.
Ooh, no.
Do you know?
That sounds like a PC game.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do a little homework on this one. We unfortunately did not have time to do the homework before this recording, so we apologize for that. But it's one of those ones. Honestly, I don't even know what it is, the actual game itself. Nothing. I know nothing about this game.
Well, luckily, some of us have a little item here that gets to go online and check it out. Lineage is a medieval fantasy MMORPG. Released in 1998. It's most popular in Korea. Really? It's available in Chinese, Japanese, and English language. And the game was designed by Jake Song, who had previously designed Nexus, The Kingdom of the Winds, another MMORPG. Alrighty. Oh, it plays like Diablo 2, actually. Funny enough. So
okay.
All right, cool.
Well, that makes sense, I guess, especially if you're saying it did really well in Korea, because we know they take their game seriously.
Oh my God, do they ever? Yeah.
To the point of where they will play for so many hours consecutively that they die.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, it's a little nutty. So let's get away from this game for now.
All right.
And move on to number 5. And this is now we're jumping into the 50s. 52 million units sold. So that's a pretty big deal. The Elder Scrolls franchise. And I got to say, we can probably chalk up Skyrim to a large chunk of that.
All the different variations.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Skyrim is their definitive, all joking aside, version of the game. I have it on VR, PlayStation VR, which, funny enough, I haven't tried yet because I've been playing some other games on VR. But everyone talks about Elder Scroll. I think it either came out or it's coming out on the Switch as well. Mm-hmm. So, and that game just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger, like massively the size of the map. It's almost it's like you're getting literally sucked into the game.
A buddy of mine played it for VR, and he said it was a completely immersive experience.
I can only imagine.
Yeah,
I can only imagine.
That's very cool. I'm not privy to this whole VR experience thing yet. I'm kind of worried about jumping into it. So
okay, my first experience with VR, going a little slightly off topic here, with the PlayStation VR, was playing the Star Wars, where you got to be in the X-Wing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool.
You want to talk about? That was just absolutely amazing. You turn around and you see the R2 unit behind you.
Oh, that's so cool.
You have to form up in formation to go into light speed. It was like I was totally geeking out the entire time I was doing it.
Until you walked into your television.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's what's good about that's what's good about PlayStation VR. It's not really moving around. You spin a little bit, but like you're not moving around the room. But
wait, you didn't have to move?
Well, no, I'm not saying you stand still. Oh,
I knocked everything over, man.
Yeah. Well, that's what happened. See, I got that out of the way with the Wii.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But like the first game I played was a demo of, I forgot the name of the game, but I'm gonna tell you this: if you're into horror, get a PlayStation VR, because every horror game that's out on it will scare you terribly.
That's what I heard.
Resident Evil.
I mean, creepy. There was this other one, I forgot what it was. You're just walking down a hallway, and it's the opening credits, and you literally look, and there's some woman in a hospital bed. You look the other way, and there's like a clown or something. I mean, terrifying.
All right, I'm gonna see, for the horror games, I would definitely be interested in VR. There's no question about it. Although whenever I picture playing a VR game, I envision Fisher Stevens from the Hackers movie when he was doing VR in the beginning of the movie, and it was just really creepy because he's Fisher Stevens. If you don't know who Fisher Stevens is, boys and girls, please look him up on IMDb.
And that is our second Hackers reference in 2 weeks.
That is very true. That's right. We did have a Hackers reference. All right, let's move on to number 4.
All right, so number 4, coming in at a whopping 54 million units, Monster Hunter.
Oh, wow. Big on Nintendo.
Yes.
Well, especially on the handhelds. I've played a demo of it, but it's almost like I'm not going to say it's like Pokemon where you go and catch them all, because you're actually trying to kill them all. But Monster Hunter, that's got a huge franchise as well. And again, I'm shocked that it may not have been a little bit higher, especially with the sales of Nintendo and stuff like that.
In all honesty, I'd have to say the final 3. You'll understand why it's not higher.
Yeah, the top 3 deserve to be in the top 3.
Fair enough. Okay.
So we'll move on to number 3 with 76 million. So this is 22 million over Monster Hunter. 76 million. The Dragon Quest franchise.
Absolutely. Which is funny because a bunch of them were given for free if you join Nintendo Power.
That's how I got mine.
Yeah, but for a free game that you guys got with Nintendo Power, I mean, it was an excellent friggin' game.
Oh, the game was fantastic, and forget about they're already up to 11, maybe even higher. I think.
Well, I think it was 11. And which one was the one on the PlayStation 2? Was that 7?
Oh, I'm gonna probably.
I remember 7 was once again one of their magnum opus. Everybody that I know who played 7. I'm going with 7. It could be whatever number.
Yeah,
it was a PlayStation 2 one. And I know people just raved about that game. Now, I've seen other people play it. I've never played it myself. It looked like a lot of fun, but I think it was something like, at that time, it was like a 70-hour game. And at that point in time, that was like a humongous game for the PlayStation 2 era.
And for those who may be like, wait, what is Dragon Quest? In North America, we know it as Dragon Warrior. Correct. So Dragon Warrior here in North America, Dragon Quest in Japan. Not only that, but now Dragon Quest is starting to branch off into like the Minecraft with Dragon Quest Builder. and actually
Really?
sequels coming out soon. Yeah, on the Switch. So it's definitely
build your own Dragon Quest.
That's
keeping
cool.
itself alive, which is pretty cool. And do you remember the special edition controller on the PlayStation 2?
Ooh.
No.
It was remember the one of the very first enemies that you encounter in Dragon Warrior. Slime. And that's what it is. The controller is the slime. You turn it upside down and play it. But yeah, very awesome.
Said it. I remember it.
That's kind of awesome.
Yeah.
It's a blue slime.
Yes.
Damn slime.
Sweet.
Yep.
Well, if it was green, I think they'd probably get sued.
Very true.
All right. Destroying number 3, all the other ones, and coming in at 144 million. Would you like to take a wild guess which one this one is?
Okay, so we haven't mentioned Final Fantasy and we haven't mentioned Pokemon. I got to assume these two franchises are in the top 2. I'm still sticking with Pokemon being number 1, so I got to say, yeah. So I got to say Final Fantasy.
Final answer?
Final answer.
All right, you don't want to phone a friend?
No, I don't have any around here.
It's the Virtual Boy.
You are correct. Final Fantasy at 144 million.
Nice.
Yep.
Final Fantasy goes without saying one of I'm assuming those sales don't count with the Final Fantasy VII NES cartridges.
No, that probably doesn't count those 5.
Yeah, honestly. Final Fantasy, not enough can be said about the series. Anthony, you have expressed your love over and over again for Final Fantasy VII. How is 9 on the Switch?
I have not had a chance to play it yet.
Oh, okay. All right.
So yeah, but I will be getting there soon because I'm sure I have a couple flights coming up soon. So that's how I play these games.
Yeah.
And needless to say, the probably the first series that confused the heck out of all of us when we finally realized, wait a minute, the games here in the US aren't necessarily the same games in Japan.
Nope.
I mean, you want to go through that number system? Good luck, pals.
No, absolutely no. I mean, like, I think the 3rd one in Japan is the 6th one here, and
the 6th one is 3 here on the
Super Nintendo. It's all really confusing.
I thought their 3 was our 1.
Their 3 was our 1. It's entirely possible.
That's
you really need you need a handbook for this stuff.
No, it's I was gonna say I was shocked that one of the series isn't on here, but then in my head I'm like they only made like 4 or 5 games, the Shining Force series.
Agreed. And I think for a lot of these, I think numbers may come into play, either numbers or whether they're MMOs.
Well, I was going to say, why don't we hold off on that for a minute? Because after we finished off with the last one, I was going to say, which games are you surprised did not make the list?
Okay. All right.
Let's say what number 1 is, and then we'll come back to it.
Fair enough. Yes. I like it.
Okay.
Someone's finally producing the show. It's about time.
Yeah, exactly. And while we're recording it, which is perfect.
Hey.
I love it.
So so we're going to talk number 1 now, right?
Yep. Okay. So Larry, do you want to announce number 1?
You can announce.
I'm going to assume that a lot of people have gone and caught them all, seeing how they release 2 versions of the game every time a new one comes out, because Nintendo loves making money hand over fist. We're talking about Pokemon.
That is correct, and at a whopping 305 million.
Wow.
So more than double Final Fantasy.
Well, that's what you get again for releasing 2 versions of the game every time. And on a side,
I guess it helps that every game now is fully endorsed by Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
I still think that's a good pick. I was going to say, and Pokemon, not only on this list is the highest grossing franchise for RPGs, I believe it's the highest grossing franchise, period, against Star Wars, against maybe even Marvel. I heard this somewhere, that Pokemon is like the biggest, period. That's movies and all the other merchandise and stuff like that, TV shows.
Well, that wouldn't surprise me in the least. I mean, I can't think of any other franchise off the top of my head that would come close to selling over 300 million units.
And here's the other thing I want to throw out there with that number. Final Fantasy series has been around since what, the middle 80s?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Pokemon's been around since what, 98, 99?
A little earlier than that. I think 96, But also keep in mind, like Final Fantasy, you got about 15 games out of it. There were a couple of other ones that were spin out, like Tactics and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I'd say on average, maybe you got 20 Final Fantasy games. I think you got way more Pokemon than that.
True.
Oh, absolutely. I mean,
way more Pokemon games.
Yeah.
Who could forget Pokemon Snap?
Yeah. I have Pokemon Snap.
I was gonna say, didn't you have Pokemon Snap in?
I still have Pokemon Snap, Pokemon Puzzle League, both Pokemon Stadiums.
Pokemon Puzzle League.
Yeah, for N64. So so it wasn't even just the RPGs. I mean, there was so much to that franchise. And there's going to be a whole lot more thanks to the movie that's coming out. So
that, and forget about the cards. People are still playing Pokemon, the card game.
Oh my God, going with the card game.
Yeah.
Did you hear about how much an unopened box from 1999 went for recently?
Oh God, yeah, you told me this.
I feel like this actually sounds familiar. I mean, I'm not going to venture to guess, but I'm going to. Well, screw it. I'll venture to guess. I'm going to assume it's got to be like 100. It's 6 digits. 6 digits.
It's not, but you're not far off.
Okay.
66,000.
Oh wow!
Yep.
Wow. And you know what? That does fall in, not price wise, but like I know a lot of people like collect baseball cards and football cards, and unopened sealed boxes, they do go for a lot of money because, again, it's kind of the mystery that's in there.
Exactly.
Along those lines, I know a friend of mine was looking into some of the newer Pokemon cards that are very detailed nowadays. And I think there was like 200 and some of them in the lot, and it was going for like $2,000, and people were bidding on it. So
yeah, well, and yet I can't get anybody to buy my Yo MTV Rap sealed boxes. What's that about?
Oh, I will buy those off of you in a heartbeat.
There's got to be somebody on the South Side that wants some.
Yeah, but you know what? Like, how come those don't go for like $5,000?
Listen,
Doesn't everybody want a limited edition Vanilla Ice card?
Forget that
card.
It might be his rookie card. It
okay.
should be. Since he was only around for like 1 year.
I'm still looking for my my DJ Jazzy Jeff and my Fresh Prince cards. You know what I mean? And my Dr. Dre and Danny Glover. I mean, those are the cards that you definitely need to get.
No question. There's no question about that. And yet, nobody's interested in buying those. So I don't think I'm going to get $100 for those.
Danny Glover?
Forget about 1,000. No, we're just going to forget it.
Wow. Okay.
And then just really, just to touch back on the list one more time, for the top selling RPG games in terms of single games, I'm not going to go through the whole top 10. I'm just going to point out the fact that 7 of the top 10 are Pokemon.
Okay.
With Pokemon Red, Green, Blue, and Yellow at number 1, 59.5 million.
So they, wow,
just on that. My cats are trying to kill each other.
Oh, they took something out.
Oh, yeah, they did.
There it goes. Okay.
Are we there?
We're here. We're live.
Oh boy.
So they counted those 4 games as one, which I mean makes sense. Don't get me wrong.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm assuming because they, I guess they all came out
at the same time.
No, they're basically the same game. It just depends on which Pokemon you start with.
Exactly. So that one, So that one counts as one. The only and then the other one, the 3 that are not Pokemon, really quickly. Elder Scrolls Skyrim, 30 million units.
Okay.
They're coming at number 4. Number 7 is Diablo 3 at 20 million units.
Oh, nice.
And then number 10, World of Warcraft at 15 million subscribers. They can only go by subscriber count for that one. So number 11, which is not on the list, was Final Fantasy 7.
Wow. That low.
It's that low.
Yeah, honestly.
I think it was somewhere around 13 million units. However, it will climb if and when the remastered version comes out on the PlayStation 4. We're still waiting.
You're better off getting the NES version.
At this point, yes.
All right. So real quick, just to mention, like Rich, you were saying, some of the series, some of the good series that, maybe the justification that they didn't sell a lot because they didn't make a lot of games. Sometimes you don't have to have a lot of sequels to still be a great series. My go-to is Shining Force. Love the Shining Force series. Probably one of the few RPGs I have beaten. Shining Force 1 and Shining Force 2. Got my Holy Grail, Shining Force 3, finally. And I can't wait to play it on the Polymega. That's my go-to. And that's my favorite. I'll never see it on that list. Because, again, they only made a small handful games, meaning 1, 2, CD, whatever, you know what I mean, 3. But yeah, what's some of yours?
So the 2 that I would go with, one I played personally, the other one I've watched other people play, and I've always wanted to go and play it, but never have. First one is Wild Arms. I love Wild Arms.
Good call.
And I know Wild Arms 2 I tried playing, couldn't get into it, but I know 3, there was a huge following for 3. And I would have to say, because I remember everybody was huge up on Final Fantasy VII when I first played Wild Arms. And I tried playing Final Fantasy VII, couldn't get into it. And I was just and I'm going to date myself here, I went into a software, etc. to yeah.
Wow.
Where the hell did I pull that one out of?
We don't want to show the viewers.
Exactly. So, and it was $10 when I went in there, and I was like, you know what, for $10, I'll try another RPG. So I picked it up, and that game just knocked my socks off with how good of a story, and the ending battles were just intense. And then the other one was the Persona series.
Ooh, okay. I never played those.
Friend of mine played the first one. I watched him play the first one, and Anthony and I were talking about this. This was going back to the time when, like, he would be sitting there. My friend would be sitting there playing the game, and I would just be laying on his couch, just watching him play the game, and I would just be enthralled watching the game being played.
That's cool.
Yeah,
that's definitely cool. And I will tell you which one's your favorite, but I think we all know which one it is.
Well, we all know Final Fantasy VII is Final Fantasy VII and Chrono Trigger are definitely the 2 that are my go-tos. No question about that. I'm more of a line of RPGs that I've always wanted to play that I haven't had a chance to.
Okay.
Secret of Mana is one of them.
Ooh.
And I've always wanted to play it. Now it's on it's on the Super NES Classic.
Yep.
Yeah, the SNES Classic, the SNES. And Earthbound was another one I wanted to play.
Earthbound. Oh,
I've only heard good things.
Did you? I don't know if you're going to talk about it later on, but I feel like this is the best time to mention it. Have you heard about the Star Tropics issue on the Switch?
Yes, I did.
No.
Would you like to share?
Yeah, so this month, with the NES Classics, if you will, on the Switch, one of them was Star Tropics. Star Tropics. Great RPG from Nintendo. Fantastic. But what Nintendo failed to realize is that as you progress through the game, at one point you need a code. The way you got the code was through a physical piece of paper that came with the game that you needed to do something with that obviously is not going to come with the game.
Wow.
Now,
I suggest people just call the Nintendo Power Hotline.
I would.
Now, here's the thing. Obviously, in today's day and age, we have the internet. So everyone can just simply look it up. Yes, it's not the way that Nintendo intended, but, you know, you have to give and take with the situation. What's cool about it, though, here's the thing. It was a code to get somewhere. What you had to do was, in the game, going back originally, there was a piece of paper. You had to wet the paper, and the wet paper would reveal the code.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah, no, for real. I wish I saw this, like, in person. Kind of like Metal Gear Solid. At one point in Metal Gear Solid, you need a certain frequency. It was on the back of the jewel case.
I remember that.
And I want to say Earthbound does something like that, too, in the instruction booklet. But don't hold me to that one. So what I find funny is this whole situation. Everyone's up in arms. Like, oh, Nintendo dropped the ball. This, that, and the other thing on these news sites. And then at the end of the article, they go, all right, oh, by the way, here's the password.
Yeah, here's the password.
Like, that's what's going to happen anyway. Yeah, which on the side... Yeah, which on a side note is 747. Because someone said they remembered it because of a Boeing 747. I'm like, I've never played this game, and I'll never forget that code.
That's funny.
There you go.
There you go. This was cool. Wow, we ran with this one. This was a fun one. We're not done, though, but we definitely want to hear from all of you listening, all of you watching, what's your favorite RPG series? What are some of the games that you love? What are some of the games you want to play? Yeah. Hit us up on our Facebook page, on our Instagram page, email us. We'll give you all those links at the end. And, we'll see what's happening. Yeah.
Larry, really, really quickly, what was your favorite RPG game on the Virtual Boy?
That exactly. Thank you. Right? You should be quiet. You're exact. Which one was that?
What?
Link?
What?
Link.
Not. Okay,
Yeah,
that was Link. Thank you.
Yeah, Link is meowing.
Link is my friend.
No, because even he no. What he was meowing was nothing. There were no RPGs on the Virtual Boy. That's what he said.
I think there was one in Japan.
No, not even they wanted it.
This is what I put up with, people. All right, so I was actually at Game On this past Friday, and I thought it'd be kind of cool because I actually ran into a buddy of mine who I wanted to get on the show here for a while, so I had a few minutes. It was game night, and we're all playing different games. So right now, real quick, here's my buddy Thomas. Thomas Retro Gamer, no relation to the Retro Gamers, but I did a little interview with him. See what some of his stuff is like and what he's into as far as the streaming and the games. So check this out, Thomas Retro Gamer. All right, so I'm here at Game On. We're having a game night here where everyone basically has been playing Ninja Gaiden. Later on tonight, I'm going to be playing Super Mario Brothers 3. I'm going to try and beat it with no warp whistle. I'm sure I can in the allotted time that this store is open. And I figured today, or tonight, or whenever this is, going to have a buddy of mine here who also is a retro gamer. We got who's playing right now Hook, actually, on Genesis. Thomas Retro Gamer. Thomas, what's going on?
Hey, not much.
So, I guess it's the Retro Gamers, meaning the Thomas Retro Gamer. And so, first and foremost, where can they find you?
Thomas Retro Gamer page over on Facebook. And usually on, I would say, Twitch at TBZ29 WWF. And then I would say on YouTube at TBZ 2006.
You are all over the place.
That's what it is. I mean, YouTube, Twitch, Facebook.
All right, good.
That's what it is. And then I also have even also like a Patreon. I believe that. Oh, if I remember it now. Wow, it's been.
Well, you can find it from the other pages of anything.
Yeah, but it'll be on Facebook. That's everything's on there. My Facebook page.
All right.
So it's on there, and I guess if you guys want to follow me, I'm always every day. Well, not every day, but once in a while.
And we're not franchising the name. We're both of us here into retro gaming, and we enjoy it. Like I said, right now he's playing Hook on Genesis. This is a pretty cool version of the game.
Yeah, it is. But Super Nintendo is. I guess it has great music.
Is that your go-to? What's your favorite system to play?
Probably Super Nintendo.
All right.
Which is Sega has a lot of 6-button, button controllers, and especially NES does. But it's more of an easier way to do it, and easy to play.
All right. And how long you been doing all the streams and everything?
Since 2006.
Really?
2006. That's when I started on my YouTube channel.
Oh wow! All right, that's cool.
So it's much easier, and now, but hopefully I'll be able to get my own, my own sponsorship, and that's where I'm looking
that's what we're all hoping for. Trust me.
Yeah.
So, what games do you usually like? With us, we usually tend to always talk about, and we can't help. We grew up with Nintendo, so we tend to talk. We're more Nintendo heavy. What do you play more Super Nintendo games? Like, what's usually your go-to?
I would have to go probably with Super Nintendo, but I'm always a action, kind of game, like action platformer.
So that's your favorite genre?
Yeah, but usually my mystery kind of games, especially I would say Until Dawn on the PS4.
Okay.
Which is a great, based off kind of what the Scream movies, if everybody knows that.
Oh yeah.
That's basically a good thing to go by, but it's a good game right there.
And I've seen you play. You have played recent games as well, so you definitely don't shy away from those. What are some of the recent games that you've been playing?
Kingdom Hearts 3, Resident Evil 2 Remake, which is absolutely actually almost amazing.
Yeah, we tried the demo on it. It was ridiculous.
But, I'm hoping they could really come out with a PS VR version of it, because that would look pretty amazing for it.
PlayStation VR is sick, and there is some demos I've played of horror games that is frightening. Like, legitimately frightening.
Definitely.
So, tell us a little bit about yourself and like what
What systems did you grow up with?
I would say probably my first console was probably NES.
Okay.
Grew up with the, I would say everybody knew about it was the Super Mario Brothers, one for NES. That was my, I would say, go-to game almost. And from there, I went from NES over to Super Nintendo, then Sega Genesis, and over to basically I never tried Sega CD, in my life, and then
really
now eventually I got it on my NES Classic Mini, which I'm not gonna say how I got it. But,
all right, yeah, we're not really into emulators, so
but it's a great great system, especially was another great game. I would say Road Adventure for Sega CD.
Road Adventure, good lord. Have you played Sonic CD?
Sonic CD. Once I did, yeah.
Got some of the greatest music of all time.
Yeah, it does, especially that, and then especially speaking of Sonic games, there's I think it was the Sonic the Hedgehog. It just came out for the PS4. Where they had
Sonic Mania.
Yeah, Sonic Mania. That's it. I mean, which is they remastered a lot of the classic levels and classical music, and it has its own soundtrack, which is I think I saw online it does, and it's a great great game I grew up with, Sonic, and I mean what else? Then I went up to Sony PS1.
Let me ask you this, because I like to ask this with everybody. Yeah. What was your first game you ever beat?
My first game I ever beat? I would have to go with... Wow, this could be a good question. Very good question.
It's a tough one sometimes. Well, what game have you beaten that you felt most accomplished with?
Probably Super Mario World for Super Nintendo.
Okay.
Which is my first accomplishment when I beat it with my dad when I was about... maybe 12, 13 years old, maybe 14.
Okay.
Over at his, his house and over.
The fact that you were that old when you beat it doesn't make me feel so bad that I'm as old as I am.
Yeah, but it's a great game. That's why. So that was probably my very big accomplishment, which I could imagine. And so that's the most important kind of game. I can feel like I've been through a lot of challenging games.
What are some of the games that you want to get your hands on that you haven't yet?
I would probably have to say Batman for VR, which I played. I did play the demo of it, it was a little sample of it, but it's still. I like the concept of, actually moving around in the.
It's weird. Yeah. It takes some time to get used to.
Yeah.
You don't walk around the room. Don't get me wrong. But it's weird.
But I'm always a big Batman fan, especially the Batman movies, especially. Another Batman good arcade game would be Batman the Tim Burton arcade.
I never played that one. We've talked about this before. Yeah.
Which is a very good game because it is based off the movie on lots of parts on it.
Okay.
This is a very good one.
What are some of the system like? What's your dream system to play?
I probably have to if I wanted to if I want to get my hands on it.
If you can get any system you want that you haven't played besides the VR.
Probably I'm going to say the Nintendo Switch.
Okay, all right.
Which is this especially obviously a lot of great games on there.
Cuphead's coming out.
Cuphead, Mario Maker 2, especially that. And now I heard you could play now online gameplay with it with the old classical games with two-player action.
Let me ask you this question as well. What are your thoughts on the Virtual Boy?
Virtual Boy. I wasn't really even too crazy about it.
All right, this conversation's over. All righty. So check him out. Thomas Retro Gamer. He does a lot of game streams that are really awesome. And he played Hook today,
which I'm trying to still be, but But I will actually do it on a future stream. So check that out. I'm always turn on your notifications or the notification bell when I go live.
Absolutely. So Thomas Retro Gamer, thank you for being on the Retro Gamers.
No problem. I was glad to be on.
Awesome. All right.
All right, so we're going to start to steer this one into port, but I have a couple of cool things. I know you guys going to have a couple of cool things over there. First, I just want to mention real quick, over the weekend, as I said, as you heard as well with Thomas, go check out Thomas's page, Thomas Retro Gamer. He's a cool guy, does really fun streams, so check him out. But that day at Game On was game night. We just kind of hang out in the store, try and beat games, just having some fun. Some people were playing Nightmare on Elm Street. As you heard, Thomas was playing Hook on Genesis. We had 2 Ninja Gaiden completions of the NES. It's not an amazing feat, don't get me wrong, but I never beat this game without using warps. I figured I would beat Super Mario Brothers 3 without using the whistles. I've never gone through world by world. I've always warped somehow. Mm-hmm. Because I barely remember ever playing level 5, the sky level, or level 6, the ice level. I'm usually bypassing them.
Yeah.
And also, the most sadistic level of all time, Pipe World.
Yeah. By the way, I tried doing it a couple of times as a kid. Furthest I ever got was level 7, and I just had to turn the game off.
Right?
I think I had like 45 lives, and I just literally was like, no, I can't do this anymore. Done. Power.
And I'm not talking hit every level. I'll do that one day. Like hit every level in the world, but just hit every world at least.
Right.
So, and my time was allotted for as long as we were still hanging out in there. And basically, I trucked through. I got to level 8. I got to the flying carrier before you get to the levels. You know what I mean?
Right.
Mm-hmm. And then they're like, all right, time to close up and time to go. I was like, no. So
how long did that take you?
That's cruel.
I live streamed the whole thing, and the live stream was about 2.5 hours.
Wow.
So it took a little, and I was playing on an original NES, original cart. So it was fun. Don't get me wrong, and then I'm sitting there, I'm going, all right, this was cool, but I really didn't get a chance to do a lot of other things. So I was so focused on Super Mario Brothers. But I'm gonna try it. Actually, I started playing on the Switch the Japanese version of Super Mario Brothers 3 because I have those Famicom controllers, and there's a slight difference with Super Mario Brothers 3 from Japan. There's like a fade out and a fade in with all the levels. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, and the reason why they did that is because Super Mario 3 is considered a performance.
Yes.
That's why you have stage curtains and everything like that. So yeah, so in Japan they did the fade out, fade in to go along with that story.
Yep. And of course, you would think I'd go to Game On and not walk out with anything. What, are you kidding me?
No. I was just waiting for you to announce it. I mean, it's inevitable that you're going to pick up something.
So this is not too much stuff. I picked up some cool stuff. It's cute. I'm going to try and cover up the prices. It's rude to show the prices. This is cute. Nothing major.
Very nice.
Nice.
Metal Mario. Kind of cool.
Love Metal Mario.
This is cool. This is just how they know me. They were just holding for me. Ms. Pac-Man on Atari 7800.
Ooh,
wow.
Very nice.
Right, that's a nice one too.
Yeah.
Nice cover. This is the reason why I went originally and had them put this on hold, as this is one of my favorite franchises of all time, and my first word, Popeye.
Huh.
Nice.
So tiny.
Yeah.
Wow. Wait. What is that for?
I'm trying to remember. Ooh, this is weird. I don't remember.
It should say on it.
No, I know, but it actually doesn't for some reason.
That might be like either ColecoVision or like an Atari 400.
I want to go with Coleco because I think I remember playing Popeye for Coleco.
Yeah, because look how small it is.
It is. I mean, compared to, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, if that's not Coleco, that may also be one that because some of the PCs back then, the computers back then,
yep,
you would be able to put in a cartridge. It could belong to one of those as well.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I completely forgot about this. Copyright 1983, King Feature Syndicate, who owns Popeye. Copyright 1983, Nintendo of America. So Nintendo also was franchising out Popeye, which I didn't realize they did that.
Interesting.
That's cool. Interesting.
Very interesting.
This is cool. They put this on the side for me, and I thought this was awesome. This is Super Mario Brothers 3. No, excuse me, the original Super Mario Brothers for the Game Boy Advance.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
That's really cool.
Here in the U.S., they put out a series of Game Boy Advance games of original NES games. Zelda, Mario, I think Dr. Mario, things like that.
Yeah,
it's going to take too long to open. But if I open this, the cartridge also has the color scheme of the Famicom, which is really cool.
Sweet.
But it's a regular Game Boy Advance, and like I said, very cool packaging.
Very cool.
That's nice.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
And finally, not from Game On. Well, technically it was Game On, but I bought it back in August. So I bought Krull for Atari.
Nice.
Months ago. Reason being, last August 2018, one of my favorite shows, Mystery Science Theater 3000, but now those guys went on to do what's called riff tracks, which is basically the same thing. They riff movies. You just don't get the silhouettes on the bottom. And 2 or 3 times a year, they do live performance. They're in Nashville, and it beams into theaters across the country. They did Krull last year.
Nice.
So very funny, very funny. So I'm like, oh, this is cool. I'll get him to sign it. Sent it away. Completely forgot about it.
Wow.
Came back today. I am so happy. Mike Nelson, Kevin Murphy, Bill Corbett. This is now one of my prized possessions. This thing is awesome.
Wow.
And
by the way, going with riff tracks, if you ever want to laugh your ass off, I don't know if you've seen it already. Watch it with the riff tracks. Star Wars Episode 1: Phantom Menace.
Oh no, I haven't done that yet.
I was crying when I watched it. I was laughing that hard.
I can only imagine. I love riff tracks. They're really good. They're doing some wacky movies this year too. But yeah, like I said, I mailed it. Completely forgot it. I get it in the mail today. I get this package, from Riff Tracks. I'm like, oh, what is this? Because their Kickstarter is ending today. So I'm like, this can't be anything from Kickstarter. Mm-hmm. So then I open up the package, and then I see the front, and I'm like, oh, okay. They sent back Krull. And I'm like, oh, it's not signed. So I'm like, all right, maybe this is being nice and finally returning it. And like I went to put it on as I was unwrapping it, and I had to turn it. I'm like, wait a minute, what is that on the back? And then I saw the autographs. So
there you go.
Very, very cool.
Oh, and speaking of things that come in the mail and that we're showing off, I need to go grab something that came in the mail today that I'm going to share on our podcast.
Oh,
I
okay.
shall return in a moment.
Then me and Rich will continue.
Exactly.
Well, maybe now I should have started showing all my stuff.
I have returned.
Oh, that was quick.
Yeah.
I didn't have to go very far. But
hoping for awkward silence.
No. And this isn't video game related, but I need to do this. Unfortunately. But does that, for people who don't know of the concept or the Flat Stanley, does everybody know who Flat Stanley is?
Well, I know for a completely different reason, but
explain to us. Okay, so Flat Stanley is this character in a book, right? His name is Flat Stanley, and he is literally just a flat person. Mm-hmm. But you're able to cut out a version of Flat Stanley from the book. It's a kid's book, and you bring Flat Stanley around with you. So you take pictures of him wherever you go and everything like that. So that's the concept of Flat Stanley. Later on, a few years ago when I was working at Fox, somebody was very nice and made me a Flat Antony.
I remember that.
I started to run around with a Flat Antony. Now, today I get a letter in the mail from my niece's elementary school.
Oh, okay.
So they created flat versions of themselves, and the homework was they needed to send it somewhere, and then wherever it went, they needed to take pictures of it. In those places to show where it is and everything like that. So now I thought this would be a great, it's not video game related, I know, but here's a great opportunity for my niece, whose name is Emily, for Flat Emily to make her debut on the Retro Gamers podcast. And here she is.
Wow.
She's a little big.
That is big.
She's very big, Flat Emily. So let's say hello to Flat Emily.
Hi. Hello. That's a lot bigger than Flat Antony.
I know. When I saw it, I was like, okay, she's gonna come to life and kill me tonight.
Next thing I know, I'm gonna be sleeping later, and she's gonna be like standing over me.
It'll be kind of like something like this. He'll be sitting here, and then all of a sudden it's.
That is awesome.
So, hello, Flat Emily. You are now immortalized on the Retro Gamers podcast.
There you go. All right, that is awesome. can I put an asterisk on Flat Anthony for a moment?
Why?
As Flat Anthony proved how your friends from Los Angeles that you made are wonderful people.
Yeah.
Kind-hearted. Wanted to see you succeed.
Yes.
Where your friends from Brooklyn, who you've known longer than your friends in Staten Island, in Los Angeles.
Yes.
Wanted to see Flat Anthony destroyed, run over, cut up into small pieces.
Yes.
So,
there was no love on the East Coast for Flat Anthony.
vile.
And just so you know, Flat Anthony survives.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, he is still around and will make his return eventually. But anyway,
This may have a lot of people in Brooklyn.
Yes, but that was a little side thing, so I wanted to share.
No, that's cool. That's cool. All righty. Is that it?
No, I have one other thing also.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was the thing. Okay.
No. Similar to you, the way that you said you had to buy something at Game On, right? Whenever you go video game shopping, you always got to walk away with something. Well, we went to Game Dude, and although Rich didn't buy anything,
Rich is also a bad idea, Bear.
Yes, Rich not only did not buy something, but literally was a huge bad influence on me.
I don't want that. You buy it.
Yeah, more or less. I did make a purchase at Game Dude, and it was only what?
I was gonna say, do you now own Game Dude? Is this how powerful?
Yes, I purchased Game Dude.
75-25.
Yeah,
that works.
No, I did make a purchase, and Larry, if the JVC XI doesn't get me the contest this year, this one will. I purchased Shining Force 3.
Oh, with the manual.
With the manual.
Oh, nice.
It is pristine.
It is in perfect condition. We're going to take a look at that. Hold that, please.
Yep.
We're going to take a look at this. It doesn't even look like it's been opened.
Please accidentally rip it. That is sweet. Good stuff. Good
Excellent.
stuff.
And got a very, very beautiful disc.
Yeah, this does look nice.
Not a scratch on the back.
Not a scratch on the back. It is in perfect condition.
That is awesome.
Yeah, I debated it for a while because I knew what I was getting into.
2 minutes.
Hey.
All right, 3.
I know. You know how? Do you know how I know how? Wow. Do you know why I know the disc looks so good on that game?
Why?
Because I can see through the cover of mine because I don't have a manual.
That's right. Here's the manual, baby.
Oh, that's cool. Good for you.
Completion. And most importantly, the actual box is intact too. These things used to break all the time.
Very rare.
Most of mine had these broken.
Yeah, exactly. So I have to say, like, when I saw it sitting in that case, I'm like, holy cow, I will never get another opportunity. No. And I still fought myself over it because, let's face it, this is not a cheap game.
No, not at all.
Not a cheap game. So.
And it only goes to figure, I bought mine, and you were like, you know what? I have to get it. And you one-upped me with the manual.
That's, you know what?
You had to.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, Larry, mine will always be bigger.
Listen, that was a selling point. I was like, you got to one-up Larry. And he was like, yeah, you know what? You're right.
You're absolutely right.
Selling point, that's a lot of people's mantras.
Very true. You got to one-up. Yeah, I mean, if you know all the enemies that he's made on Twitter, that is like basically the mantra at that point.
Like Mrs. Warrior.
Yeah,
no, not Mrs. Warrior.
No, the daughter.
The daughter. Oh, I'm sorry.
Miss Warrior.
Miss Warrior.
And JWoww.
And JWoww.
JBL for about a week. John Bradshaw Layfield.
Yeah, he's made
and Ralph Garman.
Ralph Garman. Yes.
Yeah. No.
But anyway, so that was the purchase that I have, and then one other quick little bit of news I wanted to share before we go. Currently, Sega is holding a survey right now on. They're asking fans what they think about some of their most well-known franchises. They're actually farming for some information.
Okay.
So basically, I'm going to read this really quickly. They're asking what Sega games players own, and they follow this up by asking what existing Sega series players would like to see more content for.
Oh, wow.
So they're actually asking the fans which games you'd like to see more of. And some of the games on the list include Super Monkey Ball, Gunstar Heroes, Sonic the Hedgehog, Bayonetta, Phantasy Star, Golden Axe, Streets of Rage, Jet Set Radio. So if you head over to games.sega.com/survey, take the survey. It takes about five minutes. And let them know what you're thinking, because apparently I guess they're planning their next slate of games, and they want to know which franchises they want us, the fans, to continue.
Streets of Rage.
Streets of Rage by far.
Well, they're coming out with Streets of Rage 4, right?
Well, that's
stop there.
Yeah, but
that's true.
I think that's an indie one though. Like I think somebody, like an indie developer, did that. It wasn't them. I don't know if it's them officially.
I'm pretty
sure.
Officially? I thought it was an official release.
Well, I hope it is, but like they still need to continue that. But the whole idea is like definitely fill out that survey and let them know which series you want to see. And then they give you an option for other. So when they asked what series you'd want to see continued, I obviously checked off the other and said Shining Force. I want more Shining Force.
There you go. Amen. I want more expensive CDs.
No. I want new games that cost retail price.
No, actually, that is very true. That's cool. All right. Sega's maybe they're planning something for the Google. Google Stadia?
Stadia.
All right.
Yeah, I also told Sega that they need to make more Virtual Boys, and I'm sure that will confuse them.
Two of the best games ever were on the Virtual Boy: Mario Clash and WarioWare for Virtual Boy, and now I'm going to leave it at that.
Those are lies. Nobody knows they existed.
Okay.
You're the only one who knows, and unfortunately, your memory card crashed.
There was no memory card. How much do you know about the Virtual Boy?
I know enough to know that I hate it.
It was black and red.
We're done. We're done. I'm done. I'm toast. I can't deal with this anymore.
That's right. We're going to get blocked on Twitter.
I'm never having Rich on with the two of us again. So he's causing all the problems.
Yes, he is. Thank you.
Listen, someone's got to stir the pot. I'm just
saying. Thank you, pot stirrer.
No, in all honesty, this was very fun. We're going to start bringing this one to a close. Rich, it's actually very good to talk to you again.
Same.
Thank you for hosting a few weeks ago when I was unavailable. Whoa.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really cool. And enjoy the rest of Los Angeles there.
Laying on it.
Yeah. Awesome. And no problem. And Ant, as always, it's starting to become a burden. So.
Yes, I know. And you know what? And I enjoy every minute of it.
And let everyone know where they can find us.
All right. You can find us at our website at www.theretrogamers.com. You can catch us on Facebook, facebook.com/retrogamerspodcast. On Instagram at retrogamerspodcast. And you can listen to us everywhere that you listen to podcasts. Most importantly, if you do enjoy our podcast, please give us a 5-star rating on iTunes. We really appreciate it. It helps us a lot. Or subscribe to us on YouTube if you want to see our ugly mugs talk about retro gaming.
You can see the games that I've mentioned and the cool autographs that I got.
Yes, you can see those cool things. Or you can look at the really cool Shining Force 3 that I got on the Sega Saturn. It's very pretty.
And with that, folks, I am very happy to say we will catch you right here next week on the Retro Gamers Podcast.